are dealing with emotional wellness. That's the focus for the week. And we started talking about what causes anxiety, depression, and all these negative emotions. And we said that it is because there's something deeper going on with the person. Now, we've established the fact that anytime you see depression and anxiety, there's a likelihood that you are trying to use an external activity to satisfy an inner emptiness. You are trying to use an external act to satisfy an inner sadness. You are trying to use an external act to quench an inner unwanted desire. What we're going to do today is the second portion of what we studied yesterday. We are considering what ends up becoming the symptoms of your life when you get trapped in a situation where you are using external performance to satisfy inner sadness or inner emptiness. All right. The term we use is called performance trap, using an external activity to satisfy or to kind of resolve an inner sadness or an inner emptiness. Now, here is what it looks like in real life. If you don't take care, if you see somebody dealing with performance trap, you might think they are ambitious, you might think they are a go-getter, you might think they are vision oriented, because performance trap basically means that they are performing. But the problem is that it's a trap. They are trapped in that they can't relax, they can't free themselves. They need to perform and perform to keep satisfying that desire in them. So let's go into the symptoms and some of the dangers of a performance trap life. And as I'm talking about these, if you find them in your life, begin to recognize that that's not the right path to go ahead in solving your innermost desires. All right. So again, anybody who is caught up in performance trap, they look very attractive. They look successful. They look hardworking. They look like outwardly they are doing very well. But unfortunately, it is very a miserable life because they can't stop, they can't relax, they can't enjoy their life. All right. So let me read some of the symptoms here from our discussion. All right. So anybody dealing with performance trap, the first symptoms you notice is called a perfectionist. A perfectionist. And this is what I wrote. You are going for a perfect life to cover an imperfect inner life. Trying to go for a perfect life to make up for an imperfect inner life. You understand that? That is what a performance trap life is. Secondly, you begin to deal with the symptoms, which is obviously despair, because you soon realize that there's nothing perfect out there for you. Nothing in life is perfect. So once you are trying to go for perfection to compensate or to resolve an issue deep within, you realize that you always end up in despair because nothing really satisfies. Another symptom of a perfectionist or a performance trap life is called legalism, living a life for points. You understand that? So here's what it looks like. Because you are striving for perfection to satisfy an inner craving, you are going to now understand that there's nothing perfect in life, and so you're going to now become a legalist where your goal is to just follow the rules as close as possible, because you are trying for something that really does not exist. So you notice that your life will be very strict. You can't break rules. Your life is so rigid because you are trying to score perfectly so that it will satisfy an imperfect inner life. All right, another symptoms we are going to encounter is called risk avoidance. Risk avoidance basically means that I can't afford to lose any points in life. When you are a performance trap victim, what happens is that you don't take risk because for you can't afford not to get things correct in life. There's so much pressure on your life that you need to get it right, so you don't take risk because you can't handle the fact that you didn't make it. All right, another issue that comes up is what we call anger and resentment. Life is not satisfying me, so I'm angry. So anybody that lives consistently angry at life is because they've set this higher bar for themselves and they are not achieving it, and therefore they are angry. So when you are a performance trap individual, anger and resentment is you're always angry because life is not going the way you want, and you have this need for life to work out, else you are angry. Because for you, the inner vacuum has to be satisfied with a success on paper, has to be satisfied with a ring on your finger, has to be satisfied with something external. You have to have a picture perfect life because of the brokenness within. All right, another thing is that you are when you deal with anxiety, life is too unstable for me, so I can't relax. Life is too unstable for me, so I can't relax. You see the whole plan now. You want to get it so bad that you are anxious. Did I get it? Am I going to get it? Did I get it? So you are always anxious, on the edge. You are just not a very healthy individual. Let's continue. We have a few more symptoms here. Another one, which is on the other side, is pride. I am better than anyone who has less points than me. So once you're a performance trap driven person, when you do well in life, then you become very proud, because now you think life is all about performing. So you look down on those who are not probably doing well according to your standards. And the last but one is depression. My life is really sad. Once you have lied to yourself that the inner kind of sadness, the inner emptiness can be satisfied with a performance, and you're not performing well in life, then you begin to sink deep into depression because you think your life is really a sad life. Look at me, I'm not married. Look at me, I don't have a permanent job. Look at me, my husband left me. So you have looked at all of that and you needed those good results to validate something on the inside, and now they are not there. So you sit back and you are so depressed about life. And that is where that depression really stems from, because you were trying to use an external performance to fill an empty life. All right, now lastly is chemical dependency. What can I take to escape reality? So once you begin to look at this reality that you are facing and it's not doing it for you, then you say to yourself, give me something strong to drink, give me something strong to depend on, so that I will cope with this miserable life that I think I have. But all of that can be solved once you recognize that you don't have to perform to be anybody. And we will get into that after we visit all the 4 areas that needs to be examined. All right, take care, and I hope that you are learning alongside this topic.